Hello and welcome to my web programming project. Today I'm going to walk you through my project which I made on a video game named Evil Within. So all of the material is included in this folder, and first of all I'm gonna show you the actual page and then I'll walk you through the code. So this is the home page of the website. So it's a fan website, sort of a fan website. Here the user is greeted with a welcome to the Evil Within, and there's just a short description of what this actually is. It's actually a psychological horror game which is uh, directed by Shinji Mikami. He's a Japanese director who also directed the Resident Evil series. So he's a pretty famous guy. So the main purpose of this page is to greet the users and give them a short description, as well as provide them links to the other web pages. I also included an audio, which is the original soundtrack of the game. It's a classical music and it's pretty amazing. Uh, so the next page I'll take you through is the storyline. Now this is basically a short brief of what the actual story is. It's a spoiler-free story. There are spoilers, but as I avoided them as much as possible. So this is a description of what actually happens in the game. It's not exact because we had to avoid spoilers because if you're gonna read the whole story here, then what's the point of playing the game? So then we have characters, and all the main characters are included in this page. So our main character is Bastion. I added a photo and short description. He's a detective who gets caught up in all this, and then this is Kidman. He's a junior detective, and then there's all other main characters like this guy, Ruvik, and basically all the main characters and their short descriptions are included in the characters. Then gameplay, and this is basically how the game mechanic works, how the weapons works, what type of game is it. It's a third person shooter game, and you're playing as a detective, which is this guy Sebastian, and basically this describes how the game works. So the last page is gallery, which is not showing, so I'll have to fix that. Okay. Now I'll take you through the code. So this is the index.html. Every single page is named accordingly, such as style, characters, gallery, gameplay, and story. So all of the pages are named correctly and accordingly. So the first thing, let's go and go in the head. So the title is of course the Evil Within homepage, and this is the link to the style. CSS. This is just an extremely simple code because I didn't want to go extremely overboard and make something complex. I wanted to make something that would be easy for me and easy for others to understand. So this is just a simple head page, and in body there's this is the audio that I added, which is named music mp3. So I want to add autoplay and loop, but autoplay does not work in some browsers because of browser restrictions. So I made just a button so that I made a button on click, so it plays and pauses the music because it won't play on autoplay, so I had to make a button. And this is the actual script, which is uh, it's getting the element by ID, which is this one right here. So it's connected to this one, or this audio, and the function is to toggle music. And if audio.pause, that this basically means if the audio is off, if the button is pressed, then the audio will play. Otherwise, if the audio is already on, the audio will pause. So that's how this simple JavaScript works. It's a basic script. So the next thing is the header. So I added a header tag, which basically is this part right here. So it's distinct. So in the header tag, I added the title, of course. Then I added a navigation tag, in which I added in an unordered list. I added lists of all of the pages basically. So this is the HTML, story characters, gameplay, and etc. and named them accordingly over here. So this basically a tag is the link, so it goes to that page. So it's connected to such as characters and stuff. So the next tag was the main tag where the actual content lies, and the other one is just basically for a tag where there's a copy. I mean, there's a copyright mark, and then what that actually is. So this one. So it's a fan site for the Evil Within. In the main section, there's nothing much going on. This is the index, so it's the home page. There's a description, a welcome, and an image. So this is the welcome to Evil Within, and this is the short description. And this is the image that I added. So now I'll go to CSS before going to the other pages. So this is a bit more complex than the HTML, of course, because all of the visual stuff is happening in the CSS. So first of all, I wanted to use some good fonts such as this one, and I don't think I'm using this font right here, but I'll move that later. So basically, I didn't want to use basic fonts, so I uses @import URLs and got these from the internet, these links. So I have some good fonts to work with basically. So in the body, I'm just the basic font family is defined, and this is just a basic body structure. The usual structure, the head as well. Text align center, everything is aligned center. There's padding, so a padding of 20 pixels has been done over here. Background color is basically white. So header H1. So the H1 is basically this thing. Font size, I used EM because if you open up this page in another device or a mobile phone, so that just is better optimized for those devices. So I got this recommendation from the internet because if I use pixels, then it is not well optimized on all of the devices. So basically, this is the font that I'm using, which is this one right here, which I import. And then we have the NavViewL, which is basically this whole thing. So basically, we are using this to adjust these things over here. So the padding is of course set to 0, and then display is I'm using flex, and the gap is 20 pixels, so which is this gap right here. and I'm using a margin. Next, we have the nav. Well, basically, I'm not gonna go through every single one, but I'm gonna describe what I'm using. So, this hover part over here is basically when I hover, it changes the color. Background color, see, it's gonna change. So, the nav A, which is this color, which is basically the gray color over here. And then padding is on, background color. Uh, yeah. So this is the texture, and this is the background color. And there's a border radius. So which is basically it's it has a radius instead of it's a perfect rectangle. This is the font that I'm using, basic font, and the main. This is basically the whole main section over here in the middle. After that, this is the P, which means basically paragraph. This is all the stuff I did paragraph, and again I use EM for the reason I said earlier. Margin is set to 0 and auto because auto means that if you open it up in another device, the margins and everything are uh, are optimized basically. So H2 basic stuff, intro img. So this one I added before, so over here, but now so this is basically this image over here. So footer, this is everything that's defined in the footer, the font family, color, text alignment, padding, position, and stuff, background color, which is all this, all footer part and image. I'm using a dev, which I'll show you in a moment. So the div. So it's a div class which I'm using image stack. All of these images are inside here. The character images, these images. So they have a smooth animation effect and they're stacked in a div class. So it works like this. So the display is flex for a smoother flow, and alignment in center. There's a gap between them. There's a margin. So how it actually works is there's a width. So basically the image size is standard and it's set. And there's a height which is auto, which depends basically on the height of the image. If you see that this image has a shorter height than this image, so that's how it works. There's of course border radius, which is making the corners smooth. There's a box shadow, so I added it, but it's not working very well because the background is black anyways. So there's a transition, which is when I hover, so that which is basically this one. And yeah, this is pretty much the whole CSS I'm using, and all of the other are basically similar. And this is how I made this project. Thank you for watching, and bye.